Good morning. How are we all? Very well, I hope. I'm just having some breakfast because it's about 12 o'clock and I've been really busy and forgot to have breakfast. So I'm having some breakfast for lunch. Excuse me a moment while I have a mouthful of my cereal. / cardboard. Now, I know you don't want to sit here and watch me eat my breakfast, so I'm going to quickly eat this, and then, guess what we're going to do? That's right. We're going to make some bloody candles. Breakfast over. Now we can get on to the job in hand. But before we do, I've just glanced at my cupboard and realised there is a package there which I haven't opened. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'd forgotten all about. So I'm going to open it and you can see what's inside. Because I kind of know what I've ordered, but I've also kind of forgotten what I ordered. So this will be fun for all of us. So let me grab it a minute. Here it is. I will need some scissors. I have a knife. So this is from a company here in the UK, and it's called it's called Cozy Owl, and they make their own fragrance oil. I think they have a YouTube channel, in fact, so that's where I discovered them. But I thought, let's give them a try, see what they're like. Unfortunately, they also do not stock CDN wicks, which is very unfortunate because I really want to try them. In fact, Pamela, are you there? Recommendations, please. My jar vessels, 30 cl is, and I also use 20 cl. But let's go with the 30. I don't know what that is in your American terms. I don't know if it's the same as milliliters or what is it you measure in again? I can't remember. But these are 30 cl jars. So found a company on Etsy that are in America, but will ship CDN wicks over here at not too bad a cost. Obviously, I don't want to buy hundreds of sizes, but at the same time, I don't want to order, say, 5 sizes that are wrong, pay for the shipping, and still be no further forward. So, Pamela, or anybody else out there, recommendations, please, for a size to try. Oh, that smells good. It's one of my remelted candles. So I don't know why I haven't tried it. Anyway, recommendations please for a 30 cl jar. Obviously then I can go either side of the recommendation, and perhaps I might be able to get some CDN wicks after all. I mean, my thinking is that if I find them and I get them here and, well, I found them. If I can get them here and they work, that is fantastic. But when we finally get around to making a candle that works, that we can then start selling, will I be able to stay on top of supply with the wicks? That's my worry with it. But I'm also very tempted to give them a try because I want to know why the UK don't stock CDN wicks. And if I get them here and they work first time, I might start asking a few questions. I think there's a bit of a conspiracy theory there. Or maybe not. Maybe that's just my imagination. Anyway, if you have any recommendations, 30 cl size jar, which CDN wick should I try so that I can then buy either side as well and, give them a go. So here, let's see what I ordered. So, dun 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 dun, yeah, quite a bit by the looks of things. Ooh, fragrance oils and some dyes, but they're mostly testers. So, Midnight Passion sounds good. Can I smell it? Oh, these are these things that are can be impossible to open. Oh, no. Press and squeeze, press and squeeze. Ooh. Ooh. God, that smells really nice. God, I just might sit here smelling this for the rest of the morning. That is really nice. What's in that? Oh, I cannot tell you what that just smells divine. I don't know what it's reminding me of. Yeah, have a smell. Good, isn't it? That is really nice. I can't tell you what's in it. It says Midnight Passion. It's reminding me of something and I cannot put my finger on it. Now, that's 10 millilitres. So this is the problem with testers. Because really, until you've cracked your candle, you can't really test them. Because I could put that in a candle now with the wrong wick in it, which is more than likely going to be the case. Let's admit that immediately. And not get any idea of what this candle smells like because the wick's wrong. Oh, that makes me more incentivized. Gives me more incentive to crack this flipping candle because I just want to see what this candle would smell like. That is amazing. Candy Hearts is the next one. Oh, that is also nice. That's a lot sweeter. Now I just feel bad for you because you can't smell these. And so far, 2 out of 2 are smelling fantastic. Fresh cut grass. I have a smell of sweetness. Oh, I can smell it before I've even put it to my nose. And that's not bad. When I could smell it before it came, when I could smell it after opening, it did actually immediately remind me of fresh cut grass. But as I bring it closer to my nose, it's not quite as fresh cut grass as it initially was, but it's not bad. God, I'm actually quite impressed with this. Now I'm excited to do all the others. And I'm going to try and speed it up because obviously, you know, this is not supposed to be a long video on fragrance oils. Pango? Pineapple mango. Interesting. Got to throw the word interesting in every now and then because I've realised I properly overused the word in my last video. Who knew I said the word interesting as often as I do? We all do now. Oh. That. I'm so sorry. But that smells... It smells amazing. Oh, God. Honestly, I wish I could. It really does smell like pineapple and mango. Oh, I'm finding that so funny. God, it smells like... That's making me go a bit giddy now, all this fragrance oil smelling. Pineapple chunks was a sweet. I think they were called pineapple cubes. It was a sweet that we used to buy at break time when I was at secondary school. When we used to visit the shop we weren't allowed to visit, that was just up the street, literally, from one of our school buildings, because you had to walk between buildings and across streets. Anyway, we all used to go to this shop that you weren't allowed to go to and purchase sweets, obviously, to quietly suck on during lesson, which obviously we weren't supposed to do either. And pineapple cubes was one of them, and that's what that smells like. Right, frankincense and myrrh is the next one, and I've got no idea what that's going to smell like, because why would I? I'm not one of the 3 wise men after all, although, am I wise? Open to debate. Right. Oh, that is more of a sort of distinctive smell than the others. Not sweet. It reminds me of a essential oil that you can burn in a, you know, tea light thing. A bit like the wax melts. You know, those things you can put your oil in your water or whatever. I can't remember how you use it now. Not so sure on that one, to be honest. Oh, got that all over my hands. I don't quite know how. Just wash that off a minute. Right, next in the box, juicy orange. Well, that has potential. Honestly, these little bottles can be an absolute pain in the neck to open. Press, turn. I think we got it. No, we haven't. Now we have. No, we haven't. Now we have. Right, fresh, no, juicy orange. That is nice, but it's got a bit of an after smell. Well, I say an after smell. There's something else in that. That is not not just orange. And I can't keep smelling it because honestly, it makes me a bit giddy, all this fragrance oil smelling. It's not as orangey as I thought it would be, but it's not bad. Not bad. Got quite a few in here. This is going to end up being a completely different video to the one I'd intended to make. Cucumber melon. Oh, that. I mean, cucumbers don't actually smell the best, do they? And that has got a cucumber waft, but it's mostly melon, and I reckon that's a honeydew melon. And it's not bad, but it's strange. Not 100%. I mean, it's not bad. I just can't imagine it in a candle. I mean, I've bought it. I think I must have just been tempted to see what it smelled like, but a candle that smelled of cucumber. Is there a big selling market there? Not sure. Lemon. Now this should be good. That doesn't actually smell lemony to me. That smells, but then, well, perhaps it does. Which sounds bizarre, doesn't it? But actually, I'm trying to think, does a lemon really smell as sweet as you think it does? It's quite a fresh smell. I think my nose is just getting a bit bungled up with, bungled up. I will just point this out. When Emily was little, she never said bunged up. She said bungled, and I just found it to be the most cutest thing in the world that I literally never corrected her, and still into her 20s, she'd say, I've got a bungled up nose, and I feel terrible about it because she goes out into the big wide world saying bungled, but it just sounds so much better than bunged. I mean, who doesn't want to have a bungled up nose? No, I should. I know I can hear you all now. For her, save her own embarrassment, I should correct her on this subject. But still. Right, candy floss. Oh, that's quite nice. That is quite subtle, but yet very nice. Yeah, no, I do like that one. I'm going to try and speed this up because we've still got stuff to go in. I've got dyes. In fact, I could use these in wax melts, couldn't I? Because then I'd get, then I'd get a good idea of how they smell in the wax. So that once I crack the candle, in theory, it should smell the same as it does in the wax melts. Am I wrong? Or am I right? That might be what I need to do with those. And I've got some dyes, and for some reason, I've gone with green. Probably because of the fresh cut grass. And I have a purple and a very bright red and a blue and yellow, albeit it doesn't look very yellow to me at this present moment, and orange. So clearly with lemon and orange and perhaps candy floss, which would be pink, and I don't know what I got blue for. I must have something else in there. Purple, green. So really, with these miniature things and this dye, we could make candle wax melts with that, couldn't we? I think we could. Now we've got some bigger bottles. Coconut lime. Oh, I bet they got these. Oh no. Oh, that's, ooh. Some of these fragrances, you have a smell and then you get the after smell, which surprises you. That's actually quite nice. Oh, but not if you put it right up to your nose and take a big intake of breath at the same time. Not recommended. Do it sensibly. And that's actually a really nice smell. I'm liking that one. Coconut lime. Sandalwood vanilla. Ooh. I'm liking that one. I'm bloody useless at this. I can't tell you what, I can't really describe it to you. I can't really tell you what it's reminding me of. I can't really take, there's not like a massive waft of vanilla in it. I'm assuming the actual main ingredient is the sandalwood, but it's quite nice. I'd say it's a bit more of a manly type fragrance, but it's nice. Blueberry muffin. That's why we got the blue dye chips. Now it all makes sense. Ooh. That does in fact smell like blueberry muffin. That's good. That is good. I'm looking forward to what a candle will smell like with that. Hot apple pie is odd. I'm not sure about this one. Right, let's try that again. It's got a real sharp smell to it. I think I'm so overloaded with fragrance oils, I dread to take another smell of this. It's not that it's bad. It's just quite sharp and strong. Don't quite know. I think that one would be best smelled in an actual candle. Oh, we got one left. Cinnamon vanilla. I do like a bit of cinnamon in my cake. Carrot cake. That's got to be one of my favourites. Oh, no. That was not expected. Right, let's try that again. That's odd. I'm not getting any hint of vanilla in that at all. And not a lot of cinnamon either. In fact, maybe it is. Maybe it's a hell of a lot of cinnamon and that's what's making it not so nice to smell from the bottle. It's like proper strong. I don't think I'm going to smell that one again. But maybe in a candle, all will be well. And that is it. Now, let's see how much will that cost me because I can't remember. I ordered this on the 6th of May. So, no, there's no price. It's just telling me what's on the order. I don't think it was a massive amount because a lot of those were the fragrance oils, a lot of those were the testers and I don't think they were too expensive. But very cool. So we got quite a few fragrance oils there to get on with at some point when we crack this flipping candle malarkey, which is better be soon because obviously fragrance oils have a lifespan and I don't think it exceeds like another year of testing. So let's just make sure all these lids are on properly before I put them back into the box. I do think though that I might go ahead and make some wax melts with some of these exciting little tester examples, especially with these as well, because that could be a fun activity to do. In fact, half of me is pretty excited excited about doing that. I'm thinking I might just crack on with that today, but no, because that won't get us anywhere in our candle making journey, will it? Well, it will. It'll get us some wax melts, but you know what we're going to do with them? It's bloody summer. Who's going to want to buy wax melts in the summer? You know, we can do that next month. So let's get on with the whole reason I started making this video today in the first place. Candles. Now then, I'm going to refer to my notes. If I had a nice big whiteboard I could roll in, I would, but I don't. So we used CB135 candle wax and made, well, to be fair, I thought we made a few more than this, but it seems the ones I tested last time in the last video, CB135 on its own as a candle, we used a CD10 which tunneled, we used an Eco 12 which tunneled, and we used an LX18 that did not work. I cannot remember what it did, but it did something that wasn't right. We made candles using just the Eco Cocoa wax, so just coconut wax. The Eco 12 had a high flame and I had to blow that out after 1 hour. The TCB30/18 tunneled, and the CD10 tunneled. We made candle, well, we didn't, but I did, made a candle 70% cocoa wax and 30% soy, and we put the VRL 18 in it, which, you know, tunneled, and we had the Eco 12, which had a high flame, and I had to blow it out after 2 hours. We then had the baseline candle, so no fragrance oils in any of these candles I've mentioned so far. So we did the soy 70% with the cocoa 30% blend. The Eco 12, high flame, had to blow it out within an hour, and the CD10 tunneled after 3 hours. And I deduced from that, because, you know, in another life I was Poirot, that the Eco 12 did not like coconut wax. So if we're going to make any more blends or any more candles involving even the slightest, tiniest little amount of coconut wax, we are not going to be using an Eco 12 to do it. In fact, we're not going to use any of the Eco series to do that. So that was a deduction we made. We have made progress. That in itself is progress. I also had the candles made with just soy wax and the mandarin and sandalwood fragrance, 7% fragrance load. The LX18 produced the rather large mushrooms. The VRL18 tunneled after the 3 hour mark. Well, in fairness, before the 3 hour mark, but that's when I blew it out. The TB16, it tunneled, it danced, it smoked. The CD10 almost got there, but not quite. Didn't achieve a full melt pool, and I think I burnt that for 4 test burns. Didn't achieve the full melt pool. The Eco 12 mushroomed and danced. So we now know not to use any of those wicks in our next batch. A tall flame apparently means that the candle was over wicked. A small flame or tunneling apparently means the candle was underwicked. And mushrooming is interesting because I had a comment on my last video saying if it mushrooms then wick up, and looking at some other interweb pages, etc., it says if it mushrooms, wick down. So I'm going to go either side. So I'm thinking for this new batch of candles, and I'm so sorry because I've been chattering on for quite a while now, but I didn't realise I was going to do the fragrance oils, did I? So you can let me off that little bit. Yes, I'm going to go either side. Let's just do this. So we're going to make a CB135 and the CD10 tunneled. So I'm going to see what is the next size up I've got in the CD range. The Eco 12 tunneled, so I'm going to look at an Eco 14. Because, you know, that seems to be the next logical step to make. If I've got some mandarin and sandalwood fragrance left, then why not make another one? So I'm going to go with, the CD10 didn't quite make it, so let's go with this next one up. The Eco 12 mushroomed and danced, so I'm going to go down to an Eco 10 and possibly up to an Eco 14, just to see what happens there. The TB16 tunneled, danced and smoked. So if I've got a TB18, I'm going to try it. The LX18 mushroomed. I don't have enough of this to just keep going and going and going with this mandarin and sandalwood. So I'm going to just choose a couple of these and make those. So we're going to make 2 of those. We're going to go with the CB135. We're going to go 2 of those And as far as the other ones go, not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a blend. I'm going to think on it. In the meantime, I'm going to let you go make a cup of tea, or, you know, go for a wee, or, I don't know, go and have your dinner, while I get everything ready that we are going to need to make the candles. And I keep saying we. Obviously, you're not making candles. I'm making the candles. You are just the unfortunate lot that have to sit and watch. We don't have to sit and watch me do anything, because, you know, you could turn off. But don't do that, because then you'll miss out all the fun. Back in a moment. So as you can see, I've got all of the many wicks out. I've got some vessels, wicks I've chosen, and the fragrance oil. So we're good to go. Except for the fact that I don't have enough candle wax left. Who knew? I mean, I mentioned earlier, was I wise? I think this gives you the answer to that, and clearly not, because I haven't organised myself well enough to know that I needed to buy more candle wax. So that changes things rather drastically, and I'm not going to be able to make candles. In fairness, I might be able to make one, maybe two out of what's left, but yeah. The plan is not going well so far. However, it does make me think, because this is the CB135 wax, which I've been using, and it's a soy wax. And I've been working with soy wax now since we started in January. So I have a bit of a dilemma ahead of me. Do I order another bag of CB135? Or do I go with something else? Now, admittedly, I've spent 6 months, well, a bit less than that, because I started with the C3 wax, which I ruled out pretty quickly, apart from using it for my wax melts until it's all gone. I've been using this ever since, so probably 4 or 5 months. So there's been a lot of time and effort and wicks and fragrance oil, etc. put into this wax and trying to make candles. Do I persevere based on that fact? Or do I, like someone suggested in the last video, was it, or previous, I don't know, using a different type of wax, like I think it was 464, which I believe is a golden wax or golden something type of wax, which I have heard before mentioned that is a good wax for beginners to use. And I'm very much in the beginner category, as you are all very much aware. Although, you know, in fairness, I feel like I should be an absolute expert by now. But yeah, do I instead go for something like that? Because, you know, the funds are not limitless for sure, and the wax is a bit of an investment, and we have got a long way to go. So what would you do? What would you do is my question. Obviously, if I get a different type of wax, it means sort of starting over, but then we're almost starting over anyway, as of last week when we did the burn test and we found our new results and blah, 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 blah. So we're almost at the starting over stage anyway. So what do you think? Have you got any other recommendations? Certainly everyone in America, I think 464 is mostly used over there by a lot of people, more so than it is here, I think, but I could be completely wrong in that. Would you recommend me buying a bag of that and starting afresh? Or do you think I should persevere with the CB135, bearing in mind, as yet, we've had no successful results with it? Please put your answers in the comments, because it would be a massive, 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 massive help to me. If you are using 464 and you know it's a good wax and an easy wax to use, and I possibly would get more interesting results, more successful results wicking it up, then please say. If you think I should stick with the CB135, please say. And if you have an even better suggestion than both of those two, definitely please say. If you're in the UK, and I get that a lot of people don't want to share their secrets and their recipes and stuff, and that's absolutely fair enough, because it takes so much time to finally crack these candles, unless you're very, very lucky. So of course, not everyone wants to share what wax they use and what oils they use and what wicks they use, and I totally get that, and that's absolutely fine. But if you are in the UK and you found a particular blend of wax really good, and you've used it in the past and maybe you don't use it now, but you did use it once before, that sort of suggestion would be great too. So yeah, I'm going to leave it with you guys. Am I buying the next bag of CB135, or am I going to be buying a brand new type of wax? All rests on your shoulders. I mean, I do of course have excuse me a minute, this ridiculously large bag of Eco Cocoa Wax, and God knows why I bought this. In fact, I do know. It was in the sale and there was really good reviews on it. And so I purchased it. I didn't realise it would be such, I didn't realise actually that the bag would be quite so large as it actually is. So we do have this. And I could start all over and use this. But I feel like we've been working with soy for 6 months. So I don't really want to start with the coconut wax now. But again, I'll leave it with you. Is coconut wax a lot easier to work with than soy? Bearing in mind, we already know. In fact, we do already know that the Eco series doesn't work on this, which is a damn sight more than we know about the soy wax we've been using. So I suppose you could argue that the cocoa wax might be the way forward, because we have results on that one. What do you think, everybody? Coconut wax, CB135, or brand new C464 or something else soy based? Comments please, answers on a postcard and all that jazz. In the meantime, because you can't answer in real time, and I certainly can't buy wax in real time, we're going to be making wax melts after all, because we've got time to make stuff, and it would be a shame to not do anything with our day, even though I've already took up an awful lot of your time because we did the fragrance oils. Hopefully you'll stick with me. I'm going to be making some wax melts. So that is the plan of action. I'm going to get on with it now, and let's see what happens with that, shall we? And let's start by putting all this away again. Honestly. There's really no hope for Emily, is there, bless her? No hope at all. There with a bungled up nose. I bet most of you didn't even realise she was in her 20s, and that's come as a bit of a shock to you. But yes, bless her little cotton socks. She's 21 now. Just finishing her last week at college. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do next, bless her. So, hoping these candles are going to be cracked sooner rather than later. And she'll have her own little business, and it won't matter about all the people that won't employ her, because she'll be setting herself up all by herself, take on this world, and do it under her own steam, which would be quite the achievement, sure. Although she's got the help of her mother helping her, so you know. Right, let's get on with this. So I've got the pan boiling over there, well, the water in the pan, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these left. Where's all the others gone then? Oh well, we have 6 left. So that's all of the wax melts we can make today, and I'm going to try something new. To measure out how much wax I'm going to need for each of these, I'm going to use water. So apparently you fill this up with water, measure how many millilitres that is, reduce that amount by 20%, and that supposedly gives you the correct amount of wax to fill this up. So I'm going to give that a try and see if in fact it works. Never done it before. I mean, I think I normally make about 75-ish grams of wax. No, that's wrong. I assume it fills about 75 grams of wax, so I use the wax minus the fragrance oil load. Oh, what fragrance oil load are we going to use? Now, C3 wax takes a fragrance load of up to 6%. But I know people use more than that. So maybe I'll do one with 6%, one with 7%, one with 8%. Or should you ideally stick with the 6% because that's what the wax will hold? No, there's always a dilemma. There's always decisions to be made. And I'm not very good at making them. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go and fill this up with water and work out exactly how much wax we are going to need for this container. I'm going to tar that and then fill up exactly the same thing but with water and pour it in there and see what the milliliters. Oh, we want it in milliliters. Does it do milliliters? No. So well, already it's not proving as easy as I thought it would be. I've spilt some water and the scales don't measure in milliliters, but give or take, it seems that 1 milliliter is almost equivalent to 1 gram. So I'm going to just take that and consider 1 milliliter to be the same as a gram, and we might have a bit left over, hopefully more left over than not enough. So I'm going to pour the water into this now and see what the value of the grams is and then go from there. So that comes to 80. So we've got 80 grams of water. We might as well go with 80 grams of wax, because if I make too much, then, well, I make too much, don't I? I'm sure I only usually use about 75 though. We'll go with 80. Right, so let's do this. Let's measure out 80 grams of wax. I've almost forgotten what I'm doing, to be fair. I need to remind myself a little bit here. Oh, and dry these off because, in fact, I use this one, which is perfectly dry, because water and wax don't mix, do they? And we all know that. Right, so we'll go with 80 and see what happens, I think. And I've made my sheet all wet, which is a bit disappointing. I need that to dry off. Fair, I don't have a huge amount of the C3 wax left either, so this might be a very short but sweet video. Let's measure out 80 grams. Well, it's not going to be short but sweet because I've already talked for half an hour. You know what I'm saying. No, we might be alright. I've already gone way over with my expectations. When I say I've almost forgotten what I'm doing, I'm not even joking. I haven't taken into account the fragrance oil load. So 6%, do I divide it? I honestly cannot remember. Yes, so 80 grams divided by 1.06, which is 6% of fragrance oil, equals 75.41. So I take that away from the original 80 and I am left with 4.53 grams of fragrance oil. And I only need 75 grams of this stuff. So is it going to tar to 0? That is the problem. I need to take, because it was on 75, so I need to take 5 more grams of the stuff away, and we should have enough, and we can get it onto the boiler at last. And we can measure out our fragrance oil. Finally getting somewhere. I tell you, stick with me. I know everything I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Clearly now not. We need to decide which of our fragrance oils we are going to try. Now, what was the one I really, really liked? Oh, shall we add some dye? I mean, we could. What one did I really like? I liked candy floss. It's the first out the box, so we're going to go with it because, you know, everything comes for a reason and all that jazz. I just need to give this a clean. That's all now clean, so clean and dry. Let's measure this 4.53 grams of candy floss. How much is in here? 10 millilitres, so we've definitely got enough. Squeeze it out of our little bottle. That's fun. Oh, 3. Oh, 5. Oh well, gone slightly over, but I'm not going to be worrying about it. Smells good. Delish. Right, wait for the wax to melt and get this first set of candle wax melts on the road. Well, not on the road, but you know, I don't know why I come out with these sayings. I mean, what is the matter with me? You could add a little bit of this, a little bit of red. I think we should add some dye because why the hell not? We are going with the flow today. Nothing's gone to plan. Let's add some of this into the mix as well. Check the wax. So we're at 85 and I'm gonna let it cool down to about 60. Add, oh no, I'm gonna add the fragrance oil earlier, aren't I? What is the melting point? That's what I wanted to do, is check the melting point of this stuff. I'll tell you what, this candy floss smells amazing. Now, what I liked about the Cozy Owl website, which I really couldn't find on a lot of others, is they mentioned the flash point. And the flash point of candy floss is 83 degrees. So it says on there to add the fragrance oil slightly below the flash point. So, I mean, I'm on 82.8, which is literally slightly below. I'm gonna leave it to 82, I think, and add it at that point, which I would safely say is slightly below. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So we're at 82. I'm going to add that in and mix it. I've literally been sat here for an hour now in this kitchen. So far. I haven't done a lot. But we're getting there now. What do you think, all you candle makers out there? I'm going to slouch down in my chair so that I'm actually in the shot. What do you use to stir your wax with? I'm using the end of my thermometer, which is like a, well, I'm assuming it's steel. But do you use wood or silicone? As in, you know, what your stirring implement is made of. What is considered to be the best? I did hear once that this sort of metal can affect the wax, I think. I can't remember how. And that wood can soak up the fragrance oil. Not sure about silicone. Silicone? You know what I mean. Is there a preferred material for stirring the wax? You know what to do. I don't know what the recommended pouring into wax melt trays temperature is. You know what to do. 60.7, I reckon I should start pouring, to be fair. So, let's see if we've got this right. Ooh. Well, that's not bad, is it? I mean, look at that. Our water method worked. So, one down. Oh, no! We didn't mix the dye in. Why didn't any of you shout? Oh, Gordon Bennett. Right, so, progress. Slight failure. But hey-ho, we'll put the wax in with the next one, which will be a lucky dip from the box. So, one down. Let's quickly clean this out and get straight on to the next. Go. Get that on the burner. And let's do the next one. What should we get this time? Close my eyes. Midnight Passion. I think that is the one I got excited about right at the very start of this video. So, let's do it. 4.5. So, in other words, 5. From our little squeezy bottle. Midnight Passion. What colour should we make that? Orange? I think this is my favourite. I really like the smell of this. Yeah, honestly, it smells fantastic. This is one of only a few fragrance oils where they haven't got the flash points. So, I'm going to add it in now and then add the dye. I don't know if you're supposed to add the dye first, but does it matter? Probably need to add it in quite quick, to be fair, because else it might not be hot enough. So I'm going to add the dye now. Oh, is this yellow or this is orange? And I don't know what colour passion fruit is, but I'm going with orange. I'm going with a light orange, I think. And I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, it's not going to be that dark. I don't know what it is when it comes to candles, but all of a sudden you go from relaxed and chilled out and having a laugh to pressure. Oh my God, the pressure. Because you've got to meet all these time targets and temperature targets. You feel like time's against you. Oh, I have exciting news. Guess who I went to see the other day? You'll never guess. Only Sir Lionel Richie. In fact, I don't know if he is a sir, but yeah, he was playing in Taunton, which is about an hour and a half away from me. I got tickets to go and see him at Cardiff Castle during COVID, well, before COVID, and then COVID hit and it was all cancelled. And then he announced another tour, and this time at Taunton Cricket Club, and I've never been to a cricket ground before, and it was brilliant. It's a really good location, and he was brilliant. I mean, he's obviously older now, but what a show, and he's quite funny too. Let's pour these in. Look at that colour. That is nice. I like to make sure I get every last drop out of there. And we remembered to put the dye in this one, so that was good. I think I'm going to make one more. I also have a lot of other stuff to get on with, and I've spent such a long time doing this because I waffled on for such a long time at the beginning. Apologies about that, by the way. And yeah, one more, and then I think we are good to go for today. So let's measure our wax for the last time today. And let's pick another fragrance oil from the box. I'm not looking. What's this one? Juicy Orange. That's a bit disappointing. I'm not going to have that. I've already done an orange one. So I know, you know, influence for a reason, should have picked the orange, but I've done an orange one. If it comes out again, I'll do it. So, let's go with this one. Oh my God, would you believe it? Juicy Orange. It's obviously destined to be, isn't it? Wants to get in on the scene. Juicy Orange it is. Well, it's going to make things difficult, isn't it? Because now I've got to remember that the Midnight Passion went in the middle. So I'm going to come down, look at them and go, right, which one was the orange? So, the good thing about doing wax melts is the wax melts really quickly. And it's interesting because, let me measure while I talk, this one has a flash point of 70 degrees C. Now, well, not most, but there's a lot of videos and stuff out there that tell you to add your fragrance oil at about 83 degrees or something like that. Well, this one is a good example. Please start recording this. Unbelievable. One moment, please. I don't know why. Oh, I'm not sure I like the smell of this one, you know. Not sure why my scales is refusing to measure the stuff I'm putting in it. Slightly annoying. No, but yeah, I tell you what, I don't know if I like this one. It's got a bit of a sickly, like, well, literally sicky smell about it. which I'm not liking too much, I will admit. Anyway, what was I saying? This one has got a flash point of 70. So if I'd gone ahead and added it at 83, then the smell would have evaporated. So that's interesting to me. Because back when I started making candles, I literally added everything, all the fragrance oils, at about 83 degrees. So again, oh, right, I've got to get a wriggle on. So that is now 64, which is probably too late for our candle wax, but let's go for it anyway. Shall I make it, oh, let's make it a bit lighter. Let's only add a couple of drops in there. Plus, it's at 65, which is less than 70, so I'm going to add the fragrance oil in as well. And I don't know if I finished what I was saying. Yes, back at the start of my candle journey, I did literally add all the fragrance oils in at about, hello Bluey, at about, sorry, my cat just appeared in the window. Scruffy's cat, who ever did meet if she makes an appearance. Anyway, I added it all at 83 degrees. But I then read this article more recently about the flash points, which people say you don't really need to take notice of unless you're going to send it as liquid in a plate. But this article is the only one I found did indicate that the flash point does in fact matter. So, for example, this one has a flash point of 70 degrees, this fragrance oil. So I should add it below 70 degrees to stop the smell evaporating, which is what I've clearly done here. But that's the one article I've come across in the whole of the last 6 months, or more than that, because I was researching into candles before I started doing it, that's mentioned flash points needing to be taken into account. So that's interesting. Right, this is ready to pour. Let's get this poured. And then, I'm feeling a bit like thank the Lord, we are done. So, yep, slightly lighter than the Midnight Passion, which is good. So that helps. And voila. So let me just move that one over there out of my harm's way. As in me harming it not harming me. The one on the left is the Candy Floss. The one in the middle is the Midnight Passion. And the one on the end there, on the right, is the Juicy Orange. And whew, there we go. So now I've just got all my mess to clean up. And yes, how exciting. I'm so sorry that this video was nothing like I intended it to be. I had planned to make more candles, but due to my lack of organisational skills, obviously we don't have enough wax to do so. Well, we do, to make like 1 or 2, but you know. And then due to my sheer excitement about the smells of the fragrance oils, we totally changed direction and ended up making 3 sets of wax smells, which isn't a lot, to be fair. But we've done something, we've been productive nonetheless. Right, so your homework, should you choose to accept it, is give me some advice. CB135 wax or something like the 464 or something completely different. What do I do? That is this week's dilemma that I have to face. So yes, until we get some wax, we're not going to be making many more candles, that's for sure. So yeah, I really appreciate your feedback. So yes, that'd be amazing. Oh, and Pamela or anyone else out there, recommendations please for a CDN wick for the 30 cl jar and the 20 cl jar if you wish, but certainly the 30 cl jar. If you give me a size and then I can order a couple either side of that as well. That would be marvellous and such a lot of help. And yes, I'd be so chuffed. So, you know, if you've made it this far, well, congratulations. And thank you very much for sticking around. And yeah, hopefully we will be back on track with actually trying to crack our perfect candle very soon. But yes, until then, I will love you and leave you and say thanks again for all your comments. Really means a lot that you take the time out of your day to leave me comments and stuff, and I do try and reply to all of them. And if I haven't replied to yours, it's because I just haven't seen it for some reason. Because yeah, I do think if you took the time out to leave me a comment, I will take the time out. And to be fair, I enjoy it. I enjoy reading the comments and I enjoy replying back to you. Like I say, it's like we've got our own little community going on here, and hopefully your comments help others as well, because there's a few people on here that have said that they are on their journey, they are just beginning, or they've been going a little while but haven't cracked the perfect candle yet either. So it doesn't just help me, it helps others too. So thank you very much for that. And hopefully Emily will be making an appearance again soon. She's at college today, like I said. So yeah, that's why she's not in this one. But yeah, it'd be nice to see her again at some point soon. I'm sure you agree. So thank you. And, you know, hopefully I will see you in the next one, when it might be a little less chaotic. Although perhaps today's wasn't. It just feels like it got a bit chaotic there at the end. But hopefully that hasn't come across. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. So see you soon. Take care. Over and out. Bye.